Yes, and it's Stephen A. Jones coming at you live, letting you all know, well, it's live now until we record it and then have to put it up on the cutting room floor, and perhaps even a video if such words will warrant one. We wanted to say hello to everybody and wanted to let you know that it is now fall season and you're going to start to see more flags like the crap going on in New York City. I mean, apparently that's been completely debunked. We just watched another video of some fellow. That's what he does for a living. And believe me, there was zero doubt that this was not staged. You see people positioning themselves and they're supposedly involved in a shooting. And these are crisis actors. From what I understand, you get well paid. The question is, who are they working for? Are they working for the cabal or are they working for the gray white hats? That's the question.
Yeah. Here's what we've been watching, because we told you guys in a previous MP3 that I put up that we've been watching stuff.
In the previous MP3.
Yeah. You're going to get a lot of people who claim to love Jesus Christ and they're doing the work of Jesus. And,
yeah, right.
But underneath there is
they're demons. Yeah. Many of them are demons and dark beings, or involved directly or indirectly with the Masons, which of course all kind of filters back to the cabal, which is all started essentially in Israel at one point. I mean, we could go on and on here, but it all boils down to the reptilians controlling this planet through a series of subterfuge, secret societies, which I believe are going to all be exposed and eliminated at some point. Yeah. At least that's what I think. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a spirit. I don't know everything, but we do see a lot of convergence happening on the destruction of a lot of these darker Kabbalists. It is going on, and your world is going to change. The question is how, when, and where, right? Everyone is like, come on, let's get the show on the road, or at least find a way to help some people here. We've seen today, just from some of the things that we've watched, that there are people out there writing into some of these influencers saying, hey, what the hell? Can you at least hook us up with a check so we don't starve to death? You know, the cabal had all this gold seized from them. How come they can't cut us a check for a couple of grand? Because a lot of us are hurting and lost our livelihoods and couldn't work. And that guy was stuttering to answer that question, let me tell you. He was like, well, you know, you just have to kind of put up with it. They're doing the best they can. And, you know, they're busy cleaning bunkers. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But also, when is Nisara Jisara going to be actually implemented?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that need help right now.
Yeah.
Not a year from now, not 2 years from now. And let me tell you what, the game that these people are playing, especially here in America, this is a powder keg in this country. It's just going to take one more push in the wrong direction, and people are going to say, we don't believe you, we think you're all involved in this. And we have just discovered now, and you know, you were talking about just another wonderful thing that they found in the vaccines, cobra venom, and some type of ass venom from China, some kind of Chinese snake, right? Then it all kind of ties in with that poem with Trump, remember? You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to think about, people. And you really need to think, this really is a spiritual war going on.
It is.
We've been trying to tell you this for years, and of course people, oh, you guys are nuts, and you don't know what you're talking about, and meanwhile we keep having our predictions come true. Well, at some point, you have to acknowledge the fact that it is impossible to be as accurate as we have been unless we know stuff that you don't. And if we know stuff that you don't, you should probably at least hear us out. I don't care if you believe we're spirits or not. I really don't, because we know the truth. Mm-hmm. We know that we are, and we're channeling through Michael, and we really don't give a frick if you guys believe us or not. But you know what? There are people starting to. There really are. We're getting letters of apology on a relatively more frequent basis, I think you could probably say. At the very least, we know there are people out there that are stunned at some of the things that we've said and said we were insane until they happened again and again. Channel. Here, boy. Channel, I've got something for your skin. We want to keep it fresh and beautiful.
I hate you, Stephen.
Oh, it's Channel. Come on, buddy, say it. Come on, one more time. We just love it.
All right, but then go away. And again, and again, and again. There, are you happy? Are you happy?
It's Stephen. You know, no matter what happens, if it's a smart-ass thing going on, usually Stephen is the one that is on the receiving end. Although lately, you know, I mean, he's been a bit of a assholio.
Yeah, and we just wanted to let you know, you guys too, with the spiritual, now we're talking about this.
Oh yeah, this is Matilda, sorry, I was supposed to say, because we had to use Michael's vocal cords, so, you know. But we do kind of retain some of our old vocal patterns and stuff, you know. Like I said, just an old office girl.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed working in the office. The only problem I had was men were such pigs back then, they all wear snouts. And I'm here to tell you, you gotta watch out. You know, you wear a nice little kinky little skirt to work thinking you might get a few extra points, you know what I mean? And then some monster slapping your ass, and well, you know, it's just a sexual harassment thing. But, you know, nobody likes to hear that. They really don't, especially. But unless I could take your testicles and put them in a jar somewhere, maybe that could be useful.
Yeah, thanks,
That's
Matilda.
Matilda. Hi, everybody, this is Charles. We love Matilda, and she will be appearing more. Ray, listen, we're going to start doing Saturday stuff again. You guys, at some point. If that's not a really good day, let us know. We're going to actually just do some of our shows in there together, and people can tune in and listen live if they want. We'll do some recordings at the same time, and then probably some of that stuff will become videos. But we're going to start that whole Discord thing. That is, if, you know, everything doesn't quite kick off yet. I think it still may be a little while, but things are changing for the better on this planet. It's just going to be longer than I think people thought.
That's not good news for a lot of people.
Not good news. There's a lot of people. We do know that Father has insisted that the prosperity packages start going out, and that where are the med beds, and that they have to be released over this summer. So they don't have a lot of time left, whoever these people are that are trying to prevent these things from coming to you. And we are just here to say that is the number one push now. Think about it. If they don't put these in place very, very soon, there are going to be hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of people dying in very short notice here. What are inside these are the most horrific. It's not just a little bit bad for you. They factored in every conceivable way to kill you, and do it in a way that would be most effective based on your current health, what you're going through. I mean, these people are beyond diabolical.
Yeah.
They truly hate humanity. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And because they're led to believe that, you know, of most of the people that they follow are at least moral and decent. And yet I'm here to tell you, all of your world leaders, all of them have been replaced. All of them. And all of them are under the control of either the darker cabal, less and less now, to the point to where, and many of them have been replaced as well. And the replacements are those that are either programmable clones, body doubles, actors, people wearing advanced masks, you know, the AI masks that we told you that are run through artificial intelligence. And it is amazing what these things can do. What was that?
Oh, I think that was Ryan's phone. I think.
Oh, his phone went off. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
I don't know. There's a lot of storms going across the
Your
U.S.
phone went off, dude.
At the moment, there's a lot of storms. We've had a terrible windstorm all day long. It's been like blowing a gale here.
Yeah, and with gusts up to 80 miles an hour at some point. I mean, our chairs were blowing away out here in the front. Well, your chairs, but I think ours, because we fit in them sometimes.
I had to go pull the chairs that were blowing away in front of the garage back to the garage door and like turn them upside down so the wind couldn't catch them. It was quite heavy, and there was a lot of dust in the sky, so you need to stay inside when those storms come, because there are things in the clouds sometimes that come down beings, harvesters.
Yeah, I know. People be like, Well, how do you think entire towns disappear, people? Okay, they even tell you in these movies. You've seen these movies where small towns are attacked by, like, strange monsters, bats, all kinds of crazy things, right? And then the people are just like, they just disappear. They're gone. And a lot of them are taken beneath the earth. Mm-hmm. Okay, they have raiding parties where they come up and say, you know what, we could use an extra 1,000 slaves right now. We've got a whole room out here we're trying to carve out. We've got some heavy moving. Let's go to this town here. Oh, we like America. Let's see. We'll pick Nowheresville in America, and we'll just bring in a little sandstorm.
Yeah.
A little downburst. And before you realize it, you've got all these jumpers that come in. Right? Dimensional beings, they find humans, enwrap them, and they're gone. Just like that. Yeah, I mean, they were trying to tell you this in the Stargate series.
Yeah.
You remember the Wraith would come along with these ships, and they would hit the ground with this beam, and it would just, people, if they touched it, gone, instantly sucked up and stored, and then reintegrated upon the return to the mothership.
Yeah.
For a wonderful dining experience.
It's coming out more and more that we're a farm. They show you images throughout history, like the mud floods in the 1800s. That was devastating. Right before that happened, there was a photograph that came out in the late 1800s in Russia of the old Vrahana ships, the Indian spaceships, that were hovering above the townships. They were getting ready for the harvest.
I'm just telling you guys, it's just going on. It's just another 500 years later.
Uh-huh.
And 500 years from now, they'll probably do it again if they don't fix it right this time.
Yeah.
And that's why Father he's like, okay, that's enough. We've seen enough harvest cycles, but we'll use this one to fix things. And that's what Father's attempting to do. And believe me, he is succeeding in many ways. In essence, he's already won, but we've got all of this extra stuff. And we've got idiots that are running interference instead of working with the home team right now because they want to make sure they're going to carve out something that they get to keep, right? I mean, we've been telling people this over and over.
Yeah. There are 3 factions vying. Father's faction, the Luciferians that are pretending to be the Knights in White Satin, and then there's the old Cabal guy. You have 3 factions right now.
Yeah, and we're like with Father, and we're like none of the above?
None of the above.
Okay, we're sorry. But if we're truly going to be bowing to Father, then at some point, Father's light will shineth through. And when it happens, it's going to remove all of the remaining darkness. These beings think that they're going to be able to stand before Father and still practice a form of Luciferianism. They are all Baphomet inversions. Sorry, people. I hate to tell you, almost everyone on television, everyone you've ever seen that you think was someone important, there is a very high chance that they are all inversions. That's how they live their lives. It's normal to them. They've been doing this for generations. Yep. And it's been going on. These bunkers have existed, many of them, for tens of thousands. And believe it or not, some of the deeper ones, millions of years this has been going on. Mm-hmm. This is the first chance that we've ever had to kind of crack the code here. Because they made a few mistakes. They allowed technology to get a little bit too far along the lines. And then there were, of course, the positive ETs. The good guys. Yes, they do exist. But there's a whole lot of neutrals out there, kind of like, some of the neutrals that I know. And then there's a whole bunch of bad ones out there, too. And then there's some that aren't quite so bad, but, they'd sell your mother in a minute. And then you got the others that are very good, very shining examples of good. Like the paladins of old, perhaps. I want you to think of, a knight in shining armor. This kind of thought patterns, they exist in the universe for a reason. And this planet was a blending of many different thoughts. Is it any wonder that we're so screwed up? Yeah. Okay, they threw everything here. They said, hey, I know what we'll do. Let's put a planet together and we'll take like one animal from every major species that exists across the multiverse and put it all on Earth all on Terra, and let's see what happens. Well, actually it worked out quite good. For a long time with Gaia guiding it, we had a pretty damn good place to live for a long time.
Yeah, we did.
But the reptilians started seeing dollar signs again. But they've taken over most of different galaxies surrounding this area. Certainly a good portion of the Orion galaxy is been conquered by them. Not all, and there's actually some very good beings from the Orion group, if you want to call it that. The clusters. It's like anywhere else. There are huge networks of stars everywhere because Father's divine eye is everywhere.
Yeah. I think that people are they're coming to a realization, and we've been showing you for years some of the things that will help you get through this, because once some of these revelations
and that's just part of what's in it.
That's part of what's in it.
Oh my goodness.
There are 81 different introduced bacteria into it and 8 strains of HIV. So on top of the snake venom, it is also designed to work with the mRNA, because they were studying how to control snake venom through mRNA.
Yeah.
And so they can program these people who have taken 1 or 2 shots.
And actually, many of them are turning into well, think about it. You're literally being poisoned to death by snake venom slowly over time. It would drive you mad, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Literally. And that's part of what they want them to do, is to grow very excitable and angry very quickly. I mean, I've seen it in some of our own relatives. This behavior is now beginning to exhibit, where they are openly hostile and want you essentially dead for not taking a shot. And ask yourself this question: when have you ever remembered in our history people getting angry and upset about someone declining them and breaking families up? Okay, this is all psychological warfare as well, what's going on.
Very much. So we have that. Then we have the spiritual dimensional battle going on. And believe me, today has been a very busy day in this house again. They're out there and they're in the storms. And you have to be careful because you can't see them. But their energy is out there and they are harvesting at this time. Anytime there is severe storms like a snowstorm or a sandstorm or those kinds of wind storms that create energy, they come. That's when they come. They do it in hurricanes. They were there in the Philippines and Indonesia just recently. They're exterminating smaller populations, smaller countries with larger populations like Indonesia and Philippines, because they're easy prey. They are just monsters, and this is how they've operated for a long time. And unfortunately, people are starting to realize that the whole reptilian joke really wasn't a joke after all. These guys have been around here for a very long time.
And I think with that, we'll wrap this one up. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by again, and we'll talk to you soon.